Welcome to the VR Breakfast Show. I am Sam Norton, and this is my partner in crime, Rodney Ramsey.
You know what that means? That means it's Sam and Rodney in the morning.
That sounded like we were like slow motion. That was fun.
It sounded like my head was in your ass. It sounded like some human centipede shit. That was
just an
awful.
echoing through my my digestive tract.
God awful. Yo, man, how was the weekend, brother? How was that?
Quite wonderful. A rarity happened. So I was out on tour in Hamilton, Ontario. Shout out to Levity Comedy Club and everybody that came out. Wonderful weekend.
What up?
And the wife and kid are on spring break, so they got to come with me. And so during the day, it was mommy, daddy, daughter day. We hung out, went to a pool, did stuff, and then at night working. Makes buddy, if that would be my life for the rest of my life, I would die happy just having the wife and kid travel with me everywhere. But you know, that's not the way of the land most of the time. But this weekend, amazing. What about you?
Yeah, I just got to chill, play a lot of video games, just really hung out. That's what I do now. Like, I try not to work on the weekends and just play a shit ton of games. That's like,
what are you playing?
It's I just picked up a VR game called Dragon Fist VR. Shout out to the guys who made this thing. Did you grow up watching old school kung fu movies like
yes.
I did? Okay, so did you ever want to feel like you're in a old school kung fu movie?
Yeah, of course.
Then you pick up this game. It's like $30, and I swear to God, you feel like you're in a kung. They did it perfectly. It's all about like parrying, so you're like pap, 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 and you hear the when the match starts. It's like, you've dishonored your family, and the guy like comes at you. It's like so perfect, dude. You giggle the whole way through, man, and it's an exercise. Yeah, makes you feel like you're fighting.
Okay, I gotta look this up. Do you remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, of course.
Whenever you could make I'm surprised I don't have it right now, but my default avatar, like every time I would make him, he basically was just Dolomite. That was my default avatar.
Dolomite. That's great.
Yeah.
Really funny. How was your morning?
Wonderful. I had 2 eggs and some grapefruit juice for breakfast because I am 80 years old. I didn't do oatmeal this time, but I did 2 eggs and grapefruit juice. So I'm feeling fresh.
That's good for the system. That's good for the system. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the reason I did that is because I couldn't sleep last night, and I woke up and then just made myself a giant glass of chocolate milk. So that's the balance. That's the balance of 8-year-old and 88-year-old.
Yeah,
so
yeah. When you wake up in the middle of the night and you have yourself some hot chocolate. What was it, hot or was it just cold?
No, it's just regular chocolate milk.
Oh, you just have a huge thing of chocolate, your regular ass chocolate milk. That's great. Yeah, cravings like a pregnant woman. That's nice.
But Tanya, my wife, always makes fun of me that she says I'm an 80-year-old, 30-year-old, 12-year-old, and that's usually what I oscillate between. If I'm not doing something extremely childish, I'm doing something very, very old. Those are the only 2 spaces that I live in, and then I also pay taxes.
Yeah, of course. That's the old part.
That's the 30-year-old, so I don't go to jail. What about you? What'd you have for breakfast? How's your morning?
Oh man, as always, a really good cup of coffee. 3.5 sugars today is a little bit wild for me. And I took a really loud dump this morning, and I feel bad because my cleaning lady's here, and I know she heard it. For sure, she heard it. She's actually in the background right now. It's so embarrassing, but I couldn't stop. I just
So you definitely got confirmation because I heard her laugh, so she heard you shit for sure.
For sure, she heard me take a dump, but it was worth it because it was glorious.
So I have to ask, which part of you was loud? Was it the bottom part, or was it you just going like, oh God?
Who takes a glorious shit while screaming in agony? Of course it was my ass, dude.
Okay, I don't know what you're into.
Oh, the shit was amazing. It was so painful. The whole time I was just like,
Okay, wait. Okay, let me rephrase it. Was it you going like, oh God, oh my God?
Oh, I
There you go.
wish. Am I right? Okay, that's cool. All right. So a lot of stuff we got to actually cover, man. There's a lot of stuff happened over the weekend that we cannot gloss over.
We
I believe
got. Go
the
ahead.
first one, which I think you were going to bring up, was the from your country. Both things are from your country. State of the Union, right?
Yes.
State of the Union. Yeah.
But wait, why'd you do Obama?
I don't know. Was I doing Obama? That's just my American.
State of the Union.
That's just my American voice. I thought I was doing Biden, but apparently no, I was doing the last guy.
No, you gotta whisper when you do Biden. Yeah. It's the State of the Union.
The State of the Union.
It's the State of the Union.
So, well, that's the thing. Okay, so this is my conspiracy theory. I think that he's been whispering this whole time, like playing like he's like a half-dead zombie, so that when he was at the State of the Union, he would just scream the whole time and look like this angry madman. What do they call him? They call him Dark Brandon.
Like, I keep seeing that everybody's like, he was all pilled up and stuff. I'm like, if they fixed him with pills, then like
whatever,
release those pills,
dude.
How
many people aren't fixed with pills? Like, I mean, like that is that's the American way. Yeah. So
I did. By the way, I did not watch the State of the Union. I just know that it happened. I know that there was some like crazy chick that was yelling at Biden, like heckling it. Yeah, I love the heck. Like, that's my favorite part about in Canada, the Canadian Parliament. They are allowed to like heckle each other. It makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Whenever like everybody's yelling at, just going like, "Boo, you suck! Your mom's tits are small." Like whatever they say, it's awesome. I love it.
But you see, there's a difference doing it like in Parliament. Like the Brits are the best at it. Actually,
yes.
It's a difference doing it in Parliament and letting the leader of your country do a speech. It's like a bit different. You know what I mean? They should be a little more respectful. Major whatever Taylor. Crazy Green, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
The best part for me was I think he was walking in and she was wearing, I don't know if you saw this, but she was wearing like a full on like MAGA outfit, red hat, matched all the thing, whatever. And like Biden walked in, you know, he was saying hello, and then he saw her and he made this face. He saw her and he went, ooh. Did you see that? That's like trending now. He looked at her like she was like this 3-year-old, right? And like he was showing grandpa the new toy. It was the best face. It's like being memed like all over the place. You have to see it. It's fantastic.
Love it. Yeah, she's a moron. That whole thing. Anyways, that's why I'm up here, you know? I think the reason you have a problem with that heckling though is because it's never clever. Like the Brits and Canadians, you guys are clever. It's funny sometimes. There's some repartee that, you know, during the State of the Union, it's just like, you're a murderer. And then you're like, okay, well.
You're a terrorist.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah. So, yeah, America, we need to be funny. We need to be charming. That's how we view ourselves as funny and charming. Let's do it. Let's take a little bit of Canadianness. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, America's good because you got the entertainment, right? What else? The another thing that happened this weekend, the biggest thing that happens in Hollywood every year, right? And that is the Oscars. Yeah, the Oscars. Yeah.
Who hosted this year? Do you have any idea?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's good enough.
Yo, he didn't get his ass slapped. He needed a white man who doesn't offend anybody, right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that's what you want out of these hosts is just nothing. Like, I don't understand. I've never understood award ceremonies, especially for millionaires. Like, I don't even want to see them give out like the Super Bowl trophy. It's like you won, you do that in private. All right. I watched what I wanted from you. I don't want to watch you celebrate with a gold trophy on top of being a multimillionaire. Go fuck yourself. Okay. But some people like it. And Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. He's from Vegas. He's a showman.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was on Epstein's Island, so you know.
Yeah. He was not actually.
I know. I'm just messing around.
Don't be saying that shit. Kimmel's got money. He'll sue us.
I just assume everybody was there, and we're the nerds who weren't.
I always find it hilarious that when a black entertainer fucks up publicly somehow, they always replace them with the safest white person, like Janet Jackson when Justin Timberlake, it was who ripped her bra off.
Yeah.
The next year they had like oh man, it was like some old white country singer or man, who was it? It was like come on, the folk singer. Come on, throw out some folk singer names.
Willie Nelson.
There you go. You see how fast he did that. You knew. I said, come on, the old white folk singer. White people like whatever his name is. Yeah, whatever. Great, good for you.
It was either Willie Nelson or Dolly Parton. Those are the only two.
Yeah, Willie Nelson. Oh yeah, it was him the next year. So yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's Willie Nelson this year. It's nice,
Shit. Oh man, I need to start being a lovable white person. That's what I need. I need that money. Yeah, I need to wait until you fuck up, and then I'll come
and you get fucked. You need that lovable white person money. That's good money though. That's like the best. Like Will Smith was getting lovable white person money, even though he was black for like years. You know what I mean? Like.
See, I'm going the Gary Owens route. I'm trying to be the likable white guy to black people. I actually was looking this morning. You asked me what I was how this morning was. I was also looking up BET's Comic View just got rebooted, and I was looking up to submit.
Wait. BET's still a station. BET's still.
Oh yeah, they're doing pretty good too.
What?
Yeah,
wow, okay.
they're actually doing like just because they have the brand name of like BET forever, and they have like a bunch of stuff.
And it's owned by white people though, right?
It's actually black owned.
Yeah, who's owned? Is it still Tyler Perry? Is that?
I'm sure. I mean, can it be black owned and Tyler Perry not be involved? I'm sure Oprah's somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Kevin Hart is like put up the money to reboot Comic View, but I'm like,
oh, did he?
I want to submit. Yeah.
Oh, no, there's white people on Comic View. Yeah, you do have to.
I know. That's why. That's why I'm trying to, get down on that. I'd love to be on Comic View. I'll hump a stool.
Dude.
Just like the 90s, whenever or early 2000s. I'll get in on it. I humped
this stool this morning, and I was doing that.
Don't call your wife that. Come on, man. She's better than that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's I think we've covered as much as we can about something we didn't watch.
Yeah.
I did hear though Robert Downey Jr. won his I think his first Oscar for Oppenheimer. Yeah.
His first? He's never won an Oscar?
I think so.
It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio thing where you just go, really? They haven't won an Oscar. Okay.
Should have won it for the first Iron Man. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But,
maybe. Yeah, he didn't really do all that much in Oppenheimer. I feel sometimes they just go like, this is like thanks for the career Oscar. You know what I mean? Like a lifetime achievement award. A lot of times where you're like, really, you got it for that one? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I know they do that. They're like, whatever. You know what? Here's the thing about acting, and then we can move on like that. So I'm not a very good actor. Acting is it's very hard for me to be somebody else because I'm super egotistical. So it's
I would say
really
you're
hard.
Authentic and sincere.
Oh, that's a nice way to see you're an egomaniac. Thank you. And I once I started taking acting lessons, I'm still not the greatest. However, now I can see more what makes a person a better actor. And I used to think that like, they're just giving these awards away. But now I'm like, oh my God, he actually did something. It's just really, really hard to see if you're not like trained. So I haven't seen the movie, but I'm sure he did something to deserve his award. So whatever.
Yeah, he was. You know what he did to deserve an Oscar? He was Iron Man for 2 decades.
That's what I'm saying, man. He died as Iron Man, so badass. That's what really won you that shit, Robert Downey. Speaking of celebs, we can transfer it to some other celeb news. I don't know if you saw this shit. You see how at a Madonna concert, she yelled at a fan for not dancing to her music while she was singing at this concert. He was sitting down and she yelled at him, and it turned out that he was in a wheelchair the whole time.
Well, it
right?
wasn't that she asked him to dance. She like tried to get everybody in the arena to like stand up.
Stand
She's
up,
like,
yeah,
"Why
yeah,
aren't you standing up?" And then she's just like, "Oh boy, I'm
yeah. You
sorry."
can't backtrack that one. That's
I
fucked up.
mean, she's elderly now. You got to give it. She's got to say
She's in her
once you
60s,
get
man. That's not
yeah,
that
once you get up
elderly.
to that, like you're gonna have some oopsies, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, you know what? You're right. Maybe it's what's amazing is that this hasn't happened to Madonna before. You know what I mean?
Listen. We're both comedians, right? We're both performers. I'd be lying if I said I haven't had an incident like that before. I also haven't played an arena, but I have had. You ever start doing crowd work with somebody, and then you realize like, oh, this person is like neurodivergent in some capacity. So then you're like, you slowly have to like start. Because I when I do crowd work, I do a lot of like roasting and playing with people because that's how I show
Oh, where you were
affection.
like, hey, look at this retard. And she was just like, no. Oh,
Well, I'm
no.
like, hey, what's up with you? Why can't you look me in the eyes? And the guy's just like, oh, and I'm like, oh, you're neurodivergent. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were actually autistic. I
Neuro
apologize.
die.
Yeah.
Ew.
So it happens.
Ew.
Now,
Yeah.
I've never done that to someone in a wheelchair, but you know, I'm also not a 60-plus-year-old woman who's probably done a massive amount of drugs. But you know,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So is Madonna done for now? Is that what's going on?
Oh, nothing kills Madonna. Are you kidding me? She will exist even when she's dead. Like, I think they're gonna make holograms of her and just keep Madonna going and performing. Like, this is hologram slave of Madonna for the end of time.
Just her and Tupac performing
Yeah,
together.
they tried to do that with Tupac, but I think the hologram robbed somebody, so they stopped using it. It's funny. You got any good
I
news you read over the
I
weekend?
did see something in the news that I thought was amazing. So in Ohio, these two women went to a drive-through bank to pull money out of this guy's bank account. So they were basically robbing the bank. They held this guy hostage. So one sat in the back, one was driving. He was sitting in the passenger seat. They go to the bank and we're withdrawing money from his account. Turns out it was like a weekend at Bernie's. The guy was dead. They just propped him up, brought his ID, went through the drive-through, and was like taking the money out of his bank account. And they got caught. So it was like weekend at Bernie's.
So wait. There was no like not cashier but bank person that they weren't like
No,
moving his lips. They weren't like blah blah like they
no.
went to the
So what they did was they brought him like he was old. I mean, he was old, but he was also dead. So he's old
yeah.
and dead. They propped him up in the passenger seat, buckled him in, went through the drive-through, talked to the teller like through an old school
So there was a
drive-through window.
teller. Oh, I didn't know that they had drive-through tellers. I thought it was
They
only machines.
Yeah, this is like small town Ohio. In Kansas, we still have some of those, but like instead of going up to the ATM, you can actually go and talk to somebody in the window.
Okay,
And
cool.
they would go and they're like, "Hey, this is my dad. Here's his ID. We're just trying to get some stuff," and like just pretend that he's like asleep, I guess.
Oh
But
my
they were
God.
just taking money out of his account because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they did it like 2 or 3 times, and on the third time, they got caught.
Oh my God. So it worked?
Yes, it's insane. When I was reading an article, they were like, "Oh yeah, they did it one time, and I think they came back around and did it again." Because you can only withdraw so much without having to actually like do something. So I think they were just slowly trying to get as much. It's insane. I also wonder how they got caught. Like,
Well,
like
somebody probably noticed that the dead guy is the kind of scam you do once and then you end it. Like,
I mean,
what the hell? Wow.
yeah, that I just love that somebody watched Weekend at Bernie's and went, "Listen, I got a great money idea."
That's
Like-
hilarious. Or they didn't, and they're like, "Yo, this is the most original thing I've ever thought of."
There's
Hear me
no
out.
way
Hear
a
me
movie
out.
and a sequel of this has been out already.
Hear me out, buddy. Hear me out. How did they even have a sequel of Weekend at Bernie's? They have his body on ice. Like, how did this guy not decompose? That's so
Buddy,
funny.
they went to the Caribbean, and that's one of the greatest movie sequels of all time. They go to the Caribbean, And what are the drums? You know what I'm talking about?
Steel pan drums, yeah.
Steel pan drums. Apparently, whenever Weekend Bernie hears steel drums, he actually gets up and starts dancing. So he's a dead guy dancing the steel drums, and like would walk around and start conga lines. And then the second that the steel drums quit, he would go back to it.
I think it's obvious.
This is the greatest movie in the world.
It's obvious that Bernie is still alive. Like I think. That is like at the end you find out this guy was just heavily sedated, you know? It's really
I have
funny.
seen this movie so many times and I knew it was ridiculous, but trying to tell you about this movie just with words, with you having no context, I'm realizing how much more insane. The 80s were very coke fueled, is basically, and so were these two people, I'm assuming.
Wow. Weekend at the Banky. Okay.
Weekend at Banky's.
Oh, that's so strange. Yeah, well, I'm happy they got caught because they shouldn't have went more than once. A bunch of idiots. I have
wait, hold on. Your problem isn't that they abused the body of a dead man. Your problem is they got greedy.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got away with it. I mean, you gotta give it up to them. That's like, I thought you were gonna say they pulled up, they got arrested immediately, but you're like, no, they did it 3 times. It's like genius. These guys, could you imagine how they had them propped? Like they must have. That's like special effects. It's like puppetry, man. Good for them.
That's so funny. Oh man. All right. I don't know. Do you want to talk about it?
I got one last one. A man in Green Bay was arrested, and he was arrested on some assault charges with his friend. I guess he was drunk, and when the police pulled out his ID, they saw that his real name was D's Nuts. Yeah, D's Nuts Kroll.
How did he spell D? So it wasn't like a gamer handler.
No, it's spelled like the way a black man. He's not black, by the way. You think this is a black man, but no, absolutely
he
not.
Sounds white trash as hell.
White guy, yeah, white guy named Deez. Semicolon NUTS. Yeah, D's Nuts.
Yeah, that's what that dude's white trash. Like that. Why would a parent do that to somebody? If your last name's Nuts and you go D's.
No, well, that's the great thing, right? The officer is like,
oh god.
The officer is like, and sir, what's your name? D's.
D's.
D's what? D's Nuts. It's literally the best name.
I mean, ever. Listen, do I think you should get drunk and assault people? No. Do I think if your parents named you D's Nuts, you now have somewhat excuse to medicate with alcohol and then beat up on your friends who clearly make fun of you all the time?
All the time.
Guaranteed that's what happened.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do, huh? You gonna charge these nuts? Like, it's just so perfect every time. You know what I think? I think that his original dad was white, and then his dad left him, and then the mom hooked up with a black man when she was pregnant, and then he thought it was his kid, and then when he was born, he named him that shit just to get back.
Just get back at
the world, yeah.
Man, what if you could have because that's just a gamer's name. That's listen, I'm DG Special, right? Like, what would if you could rename yourself with a gamer tag of D's Nuts? What would do you have one?
Yeah, it would be human hate crime. Yeah.
that wait, is that your first name or that's your whole name?
The whole thing is my first name. that used to be my gamer tag, so that anytime I killed you, you see that you've been killed by human hate crime. I really loved it. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Well, this has been wonderful.
This has been a good show. I'm going to legally change my name to D's Nuts after this. And I'm going to go watch Oppenheimer. See what the hell that's all about. And I'm
gonna go extract money out of a bank. Don't ask me how I'm gonna do it.
I'm also going to avoid my cleaning lady because I'm embarrassed.
Unrelated news off of Amazon Prime. I just ordered some steel pan drums.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do this before we go, just to remind everybody, the 3 people who are watching. It is Monday. That means if you want to learn stand-up comedy, come to Joke Club at 7:30 p.m. And if you, what are you doing at 7:30? You feel like co-teaching tonight, or are you busy?
I'm throwing a comedian private party tonight.
And you didn't invite me? Go fuck yourself.
You're
And
not in the town. What,
supposed to
you want
play
to just
along.
put on
You're supposed to
headsets and hang around
you're
with each
supposed to
other?
play along. You're supposed to play along. You're supposed to be
Oh,
like,
okay.
hey,
Sorry. Oh, yeah. No, I don't like you.
All right, perfect. Okay, that's what I want to hear. All right, well, we'll be here at 7:30 p.m. I teach a joke class called Joke Club, comedy class. And after the class, you can come to the beta show and do it if you've done Joke Club or if you're just a funny person. So do that.
And come out and just watch funny comedians writing new material.
That's right. And thank you for watching. This was Sam and Rodney in the morning.
Yay!
Way better than the first time. Way better than the first time.
Have a good morning, everybody. Love you. Oh.